Alhamdulillah. Rahmatullah. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
I know it's that time. Are we live yet, Brother Omar? Again, assalamu alaikum. We want to welcome you all to our Sunday Ta'aleem, and Allah willing, we will has a call been given?
No.
Okay. We'll get Brother Omar, he will give a call, and then we will make prayer and then begin.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya ala salah. Hayya ala salah. Hayya ala falah. Hayya ala falah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu Muhammadan Rasulullah, ashhadu Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya ala salah, hayya ala salah, hayya ala salah, hayya ala salah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Kamati Salah, Kamakamatis Salah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Sami Allahu liman hamidah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Sami Allahu liman hamidah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Sami Allahu liman hamidah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu liman hamidah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. تكبير. الله أكبر. Assalamu alaikum. Children of Muslims, Allah willing, we will go no long time. We began with Al-Fatiha, and then we'll make some comments based upon what the lecture was Friday. So if you all don't mind, let's say Al-Fatiha together, please. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki Yawm al-Din. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim. Sirata alladhina an'amta غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. السلام عليكم.
السلام.
Turn it on. It's on. No, it's off. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Alhamdulillah. Sharing with you what we went over Friday in Jumu'ah prayer. And what we went over was the last sermon of Prophet Muhammad. And we also went over what was up here on the board there. This day have I perfected your religion, and I have completed my favor upon you, and have chosen for you, or approved. It says approved, chosen. The translator said approved, chosen, either one. Al-Islam, Deen, and as you all know, I don't know if you can see it, but whenever you see Islam in the Quran, it was pointed out to us, it's always going to say Al-Islam. And as my little understanding, I emphasize little understanding of the Quranic Arabic, then I can see it. And that's that. Those of us who, and most of us are doing some study, that's the Alif Lam in the front. And that gives it the of the Islam as Dina. And point this out, if I can go over here, that Dina, with that tanween on it, is just letting us know that this is not definite. It's not. If it had had the AL on it, it would have been definite. But because it has that tanween on it, it's indefinite. So God has chosen for us a way of life. Islam is the way that He chose for it, which lets us know again. Imam was saying in the Ramadan that there obviously must be other ways. There must be other ways on this earth that people are following, and but He has perfected for us this. And the one thing that I discovered personally after being in religion all these years, I never understood culture because that wasn't something that we talked about. Um, it didn't. I didn't get to know what it meant until I came to Islam, and I didn't understand the beauty of brother. Saeed, I just thought this was people. I didn't only until I came into Islam that I realized that there is a no way. And you read in the Quran, and Allah will say, and I have endeared your hearts to each other. Nobody could have did that but Allah. It's so obvious to me when society, it's obvious. And I'm asking what I do. I'm asking all the time, why do we have this situation where people can be so insensitive to each other? And I always say my response is that if it's part of the problem is that we have gotten away from God and we don't think it's as important. So I'm talking to someone and I'm going to share this with y'all and then we'll just open it up. If the first commandment is that the Lord your God is one God, I mean, I know it reads a little different. I looked up commandment. Commandment in essence means God has, in essence, ordered us to do this. If this is first, and that you shouldn't make no images of it, if that's the first commandment, and I'm talking to a man, I say, and you got a picture of right here. But the commandment is don't do this. Why do you think God did it? I mean, was he just saying something? If you believe in him, if you follow what I'm saying, if you truly believe that, because if you don't believe it, then you can understand why the world is the way it is. It's going to be this way. I think I read it says, "Hear, O Israel, I am the one who brought you out of the land of bondage and etc. You didn't have no other God. Don't make no images of me." And I'm asking this person in religion like you and I are. So if this is number one, if this is the number one commandment for people, and we got that wrong, we got it in it. There it is right there in the place that we were at. And if this is number one and we got that wrong, why should I believe you got number two right? Because you got number one wrong. And you telling me that it shouldn't be. He told me. He said, "No, we ain't supposed to have no images." Okay, so I'm asking you all to talk to me before we go to this is number one. Why would I believe you got number two right? And you acknowledging that you don't have number one. You tell me I ain't got number one right. So why logically would I say he got number two right? You got number one wrong. So the world is going to be like this. To me, it might sound simple, but to me, how are we ever going to get it right if we don't get number one right? That's what I was saying. I said, my mind is so simple. Imagine, I don't look at myself as no smart person. I look at myself as a person that it's just logically, this is logic. To me, it's logic. I looked up logic, which that's something that I do. Whatever the word is, I'm gonna look it up. Logic is using your rational reasoning thought process to go back and forth to come up with the best solution. So if this is true, if God Almighty has given a commandment, then what's the reason? I'm asking you all. I know you all know. I just want to hear your thoughts on how you interpret. I know you all know. But I'm talking to a person, they're not a bad people, but they didn't know. Why is this so important? It must be a reason that God did this. I was trying to get them to come to the logical conclusion that God must have done it for a reason. You see what I'm saying? So for me, one of the reasons that we have the situation that we're not brothers, one of the reasons. I mean, but there's a lot of other stuff going on, like, I don't know. I hate to say concerning our president, but I was asked the question, why do you think he like that? Why do you think people voted for him? Not trying to make this a political thing. I'm just saying, somewhere in there, we're not making the dots connect. So I'm saying that if you want to make some comments, make it. If not, we'll just keep on going. You want to make something? Yes. I hope that there's a speaker so it will be recorded. But you want it on that, so the people that are at home.
Yeah. Somewhere.
Hold on 1 second. Let's get him. He's going to bring you that. Because there are some people that are on the and then that way they'll hear you for the Israel.
You don't speak up, brother.
That's the way.
Wait, on, sit down.
I don't know if this may be a rationale, or it may be a rationale, or it may be something that has transpired over the years. That the law from what the idol gave Moses the command.
Okay.
And so when he talked about not having another God, or put any God, or having any likeness other than the one true God, what happens is the whole idea and concept of God and who he is changed over the years. Right? And so when they start coming up with this idea that use, for example, that the Old Testament no longer is binding on the generation of the people. So when they say it's no longer binding on the generation of the people, they're saying that the commandments that came up in the Old Testament actually were nailed to the cross. And so when you say nailed to the cross, they said that we're not under the law of the old law. We're under grace now.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so the masses of people, they firmly believe that you no longer have to be held accountable for the old commandments. And so because they don't want to be held accountable for old commandments, and their sins has already been paid for, and the way to paradise has already been paid for by the sacrifice. So they firmly believe that. And so now they say you walk by faith, not by sight. And when they say walk by faith, not by sight, you don't have to believe nothing that you see in front of you. You just gotta believe that whatever you're doing based on your faith is right. And so you continue in that mindset. So that's kind of part of what we have today. We have today where a lot of people, they say they have faith, and their faith is grounded in something that we were forbidden to do, image, or person, or idea, or concept. And so we all fall into that idea and concept. And so as African American people, we held that concept because that concept is what kept us enslaved, not just physically, but mentally enslaved. And so sometimes that particular concept that held us enslaved, it's kind of hard to get rid of. Inshallah.
I got you.
I don't know if that made sense about that. That's the biggest way some of that stuff.
I think I understand. Well, anybody else want to make comment? Well, I think I understand what you were saying, though. I think I do.
I just making an additional comment because I was thinking about this a couple of days ago about the Ten Commandments and the criterion that's in the Ten Commandments that Allah revealed to Moses, and what Allah revealed, it doesn't have an expiration date on it. So if Allah revealed it to Moses, it was good for Moses. It would certainly be good for us. But and even Prophet Isa, Jesus also stated that in reference to the dichotomy and that he didn't come to change anything that Moses had. So if I'm right on that, you're not going to get too right on what Prophet Isa said, because that doesn't go along with the script. It's out of the script. It's out of, as Imam, the channel, some Imam Sharif now. It's out of the script, which means it's out of the description.
Right.
So we got scriptures, so that doesn't fit the script. So we don't talk about it. We don't highlight that. And then just one additional thing I was sitting here as you were speaking about, Imam, is that even in the time of Moses, even in the time of Moses, they were looking for a figure. So this is nothing new. The human being has always wanted to see their creator in an image. That's why Allah said, you can't see me in an image. So you want one of the perhaps logical response that God cannot be seen in an image, so he revealed that to his prophet Musa. One God, no image, because your image is not going to be justice to me. So what they said, to divert from that and to uplift the imagery, they said that God came in an image in the person of. So now he has revealed his image in the person of Christ, and contrary to what the scripture said, that hair like hair like wool, feet like bronze, and all that, which gives you the image that this person may have had some complexion, may have had some deep melanin in his skin. That's not the image you're going to get. Now, we got that image now because, as the brother said, African Americans have became quote unquote aware. So now we go into our houses of worship and we see a melanin colored image.
Right. That's right.
But it's still an
Image. Alhamdulillah. Anybody else? This we were talking of the prophet, and one of the things in his last sermon, one of the things, Prophet Muhammad says a lot of things, but one of the things feast be upon him. He said, worship Allah. And pray, giving charity, fast Ramadan, make the Hajj, you know. And I just think that it seems like it's hard to get together because we don't see this idea of making more than one God. To me, it seems like that is a major roadblock. Major. Seems like it's such a major, and I guess because most time when I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm with people and they all are ministers. And it's just interesting to be around everybody a minister. So if everybody's a minister, and then you ask the minister, say, but this is what it say. It said it said your book say, your your book, my book, Jude, all these books say one God. Your book don't make no images. My book say God is invisible. You can't see him. Same thing. It's the same point. And then you turn right back around. I mean, I promise you. The brother say, you shouldn't have no images. He said it. He's a minister, I can say like myself, you know. And I ask, could this be a major problem? Can this be a problem? Wouldn't it be better, I said to him, wouldn't it be better if I say it as a Muslim, you think I'm saying it because I'm Muslim? But wouldn't it be better, I said to him, if you say that you're a Christian? And he said, yeah, but I can tell you this right now. If I say that, I'm going to lose most of my people. Right? Wow. I said, maybe you wouldn't. Huh? Yeah, he might get more.
Look at Pastor Jimmy's church online. You don't have a seat to spare. He said, and none of them images of God. You have them all lined up.
Line up.
This ain't God. This ain't the baby Jesus. This ain't the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't run people away from
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum, brother. What do you want to say?
Jehovah. Coming from the church as a young clergy, and in the Bible it speaks about God being incorruptible. And it speaks about you can't turn a incorruptible God into a corruptible man. It also speaks about the man is born of a woman. It's but a few days full of trouble. And so when you look at that, we all are images. So this to be proven that we can't be gods, right?
Right.
Because we all see each other in a certain way, so we know that you can't be God, right?
Right.
And so the way that it's a saying that the creates creation. So creation cannot be created. How we can be define what is divine and what is not, right?
Right.
Because we all is passing through this same way, trying back to the one divine creator. That's what I'm looking
What do you want to say?
That's the way.
What do you want to say?
I have a question. Maybe someone can answer that for me. Has those in the nation been convinced of the whole concept of God,
Of
human
God.
being God? Have they changed their perspective? If you read their paper, have they changed their perspective? Okay,
It's still in the paper.
it's still in the paper.
Yeah, because I see the paper. Because
So what would be the reasoning if you have a leader who understands the teaching of Islam, and he's the leader of a nation, but he still have that in his paper to lead brothers to believe that they are God? I mean, I don't get it. I mean, so we have to tell the truth, right? We do that. We say they say the Baptist Muhammad died, right? And then he's gonna come back as the Mahdi. Right? That's what they believe.
They also say no resurrection, so.
Right. Right. That you're gonna get all your glory on earth, and there's no such thing as a paradise. That they believe that.
Yeah. Wow.
And so, well, you know, even Muhammad, I think he said this. He said, the most segregated place that you'll find is right inside the halls of places of worship. Places of worship. Why is that? Because if you study the historical perspective of a man's idea of better than, greater than, who is God, it goes all the way back to the time of Noah and the curse and all that. And so that's where we got all the idea of white supremacy. Because and that when Moses, the land came out, he didn't go over because God wouldn't allow him to go because his people had got cursed. And those people who got cursed are people supposed to be just like us.
Yeah. Right.
And so that perspective has transcended many hundreds and thousands of years, and people haven't been able to get away from it. I just don't understand it for the life of me why nobody wants to speak truth to power.
Oh my.
Dear brother, if I could comment on what you just elaborated. The nation and Christianity are parallel to each other. The nation, the leaders know the truth, but they don't want to lose members, just like the Christians. They know the one God. If they win a game rain, then they start losing members. The nations, the Christianity movers, and they all run to Islam, in my opinion. And that's what I see. It's all about membership. It's all about money. It's all materialistic games. Yes. That's what I'm
saying. That is what the brother said. I don't know if that's your vehicle out there. One that, yeah. I don't know. Yes,
Okay, I was going to say, as the brother stated, that's why the students of the man Ward we weren't concerned about none of this stuff. If you left, you left. Yeah. If we couldn't pay taxes no more on the burden of some building and artifact that we were trying to hold on to from the first resurrection, so that we had a farm and they can get in the community. Yeah. So, he wasn't as a human being and as a leader. He wasn't concerned about those things that would keep us subservient to him. He wanted us to be subservient. And if you don't see him in that light, you just got some growth to do. That's
an old lady.
I
wanted to add on to what the brother was saying. Besides, what behooves me and startles me at the same time is how you can read something in black and white. You can read something in black and white, and you can see that God is, is nowhere in the image of man. You can see in the Quran where it says that God is not man, and a man calls himself God. That's certain. You can read in the Bible, it says that, right? And what amazes me is that you got eyes, but you and you have ears you don't hear. And the veil is right now to this day is where they hard. So when it comes to Islam, God open up your breastplate to Islam, you submit to his will. So when you submit to his will, it's right there in black and white. You are not a God. It's right there in black and white. You're gonna come back to your very fingertip. Right? You're gonna come back, but you don't believe in the resurrection. That's going all the way back to when the Sadducees, if I'm not mistaken, they didn't believe in the resurrection. So the regular, your diagram is the same as the people that came before. And this is constantly being repeated in the Quran. This is one of the many ultimate repeated verses that this is constantly going on. So it's amazing me that people constantly hold on to their momentum, like that brother was just saying. It's saying that, see, when you're not a force to be reckoned with, but when you got a group of people that's behind you, that support you got going on, you're a force to be reckoned with. So guess what? You still got that power. You still got some game, strong strength, but what you hold is a lie. It's truth mixed with falsehood. And then you saying you are a leader of the people, or you're a shepherd of the people. How do you lead your people astray? How do you lead your people to the hellfire, saying you have a good heart for them? That will slaughter me the most. So and where I'm in right today, I'm proud to be a Muslim. I'm proud to know that when I die, it's a better place than this. I'm proud to know that I believe in resurrection. I'm proud to know that I'm just a simple man. A higher being is more powerful than who he is. My eyes can't even see to understand. So even if they was going by people to go by what they read, it should amaze you that the fact that this stuff is actually happening opposed to what might be allegorical, but people get caught up in the allegorical because they want to be self. You know, it's like we got this ego, we want to set trip that we are more powerful than the next man. We got this Superman complex going on, and not the brotherhood complex, not the community complex that we're supposed to have. The Prophet Muhammad, he said in his first speech that it's going to be 73 sects that is going to come amongst his ummah. One is going to go to heaven. Only one out of 72. 72 going to go to the fire, but only one of his sect. And like I said, that God opened up my eyes. He opened up my breastplate to Islam. It's not something that I was raised up in my household, but God able to where my grandparents, she didn't have no argument about what I was following. Just imagine a 13-year-old kid still not gonna eat pork. And that's what you got in your household. God already me, I believe wholeheartedly in this thing, and it behooves me. It started me when you just got people who got eyes like this, what you got. But then you got to say, alhamdulillah. God opened up my eyes. He opened up my breastplate to receive this word, and I'm not going to be confused. I'm not going to be led straight by no antichrist. Nobody can lead me astray. That's all I want to say.
La ilaha illallah.
Amen.
Alhamdulillah is interesting conversation and communication. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us all free will. So that free will is to believe the way you want to believe. The free will. Allah tells us in the Quran, they take their priests and their anchorites as Lord other than Allah. I mean, they get the word off of somebody else's mouth. Accept that as if it's the truth. It's in Islam too. The chest was bust open. Watched his organ. That's called somebody have to reinterpret that.
Right.
And I think though there are those in other faiths and other ways their message. See, I read that, I decode it right away.
Right.
I decode it. I don't take it literally.
Right.
No. Now, there was a time I did. God Muhammad levitated himself in the second bar. Because I wanted to believe that. I wanted to believe that the African was superhuman. Because I could get out of that inferiority state.
Yeah.
But that wasn't reality. It's not reality. And we have to accept, as you mentioned, reasoning and rationale.
Yeah.
And I think you and I talked a little. You say, you get locked into a teaching, and you accept it as 100% accurate.
Right.
But sometimes you have to break away from it. You have to break away from leaders, right? You have to break away from that you know that's not leading you in the right direction. Now, Imam said, he broke himself away. He said sometimes you have to get something and knock yourself loose from it. Knock our mind away from thinking like other people are thinking.
Yeah.
But it takes something because
we're
human beings and we live within our knowledge.
Yeah.
If you take my knowledge away from me, I'll say, well, I'm gonna go with my way of thinking. Unless now if you I believe, and Allah knows best, and I think Allah will direct us all to the truth if we sincerely want to accept the truth. If we sincerely want to accept it into our being, Allah will guide us. He won't let us be astray. But we got to be strong enough to turn away from that.
Yeah.
Our way.
Sure did. Yes, sir. Sure did.
Pray that way.
Yeah.
Our direction used to be that because we thought that was the right orientation.
The podium was up there.
And it took something for us to break away from that. We wasn't strong enough. Our imam, if he was standing up and he prayed in that direction, even though you had a little knowledge, you might be. I found myself trying to shift this way, but I didn't want to be all the way shifted from where I am with my leader.
Yeah.
So, I'm thinking that, we have to break away, not just us, any person, religious leader, teacher who's teaching something, and we know it's inconsistent with the book. The book is clear. This is a book for anyone who wants to go straight.
Brother, man, I just want to think about two powerful words. And the other one is fear. Fear. Okay? Powerful words. When you think about the word that's all the time, we are power. There's power in the will. You think about fear. Many times people don't want to let go of things. They suffer from this specter life. And fear circumvents the will. Anything that you fear, you don't go toward it. You go around. If you're afraid of a snake, you don't go to the snake. Go around the snake. So when you think about putting these two words into the right perspective, then you have to know how to navigate through certain things to make sure that your understanding is in accordance to what you're reading. Assalamu alaikum.
That is so true. Oh, that is so true. It's amazing. The next verse I have when I close, well, Houston says, man, that's what he told me. I'm not sure. And I know that's what he told me. Look at Surah 98. While he, and this 8 and 5. What's so magnificent? I think I know. What's so magnificent here? Since I don't have a dictionary, I had the definition of sincere. What is sincere? Anybody? Genuine. Genuine. To take off pretense out. If you just stand up and speak. Amen. What you said, if you don't hold on to your truth, right? Then you out there kind of naked. But this how this one reads. And I'm reading the Arabic. And they have been commanded Liyabudu to worship Allah. And then what? Mukhlisin. And my understanding of Mukhlisin, because it's from Khalasa. And I know I'm going to ask Jamil or Mukhlisin, is that from, come on, Brian. Surah 112, right? It's the same word as this. I mean, it's the root of the word. The root of this word, mukhlisin, is the root of it. But when you say, I heard Imam giving lectures, he said, if I say, what? If you want to say something that's finished, what do you say? Khalas. That's what you would say. Meaning it's over. And I'm connecting this to say, the people were commanded no more than this. Be sincere. Be sincere in religion. And don't just be sincere, then be upright. Because the next word is hunafa. Hunafa. And Hanif, right? That's Hanif. And that's the religion of Abraham. Hanif. And out here, I need your help. When we pray our final prayer, don't we say in the prayer, this is the religion of Abraham? That's what we say. That this is Hanif. And he was what? He was sincere. He was sincere. Say sincere again, why they was no. What did you say? I said genuine. Genuine. Yeah, this is genuine. A genuine person. How do you be genuine? You know, like you did. Yes, sir.
This idea reminds me, it's in a chord with a, that might go right. It's a chord with a hadith. You got it.
Like, I see 3 now. Sincere or evident, sincere devotion and truth. Then the established prayer, the pay the zakat. Okay, so we got 5 total.
Right.
You know, man asked the Prophet Muhammad, he said, if I testify and I make the salah and I pay the zakat, can you make it to Jannah? And the Prophet Muhammad told the man, yes. Yes. And we know those 3 are the 5 total.
Yeah.
The 2 that
missing is fasting Ramadan.
Yeah.
That's you can only fast Ramadan if you're able to do that.
Right.
You get some exemptions from that. You know, you got some exceptions.
Yeah.
And to make it hard,
Yeah.
you're only supposed to make it.
Yeah.
You're naturally and physically able to do that.
Yeah.
So those three things that the man asked the Prophet Muhammad about, and these three things to me is consistent.
Consistent.
Alhamdulillah.
They have been commanded for these.
So somebody, you know, you might say, well, the person don't, they didn't make it to high, you know. Now Allah knows best.
Yeah, Allah knows this.
Allah knows best. Now, you know, I've been to China and around the world and this, and I didn't make the hard. You might have some explaining to do, you know. And we might. It's possible. So, well, it's possible. Allah knows best. And if a person said that, you know, they couldn't fast, maybe they had a medical condition. They couldn't fast. They, you know, maybe they was challenged. All the reasons for the exemption, so they couldn't fast. So that won't prevent from making it to the Jannah.
Alhamdulillah. I'm gonna ask you here. You too. See where it says Muhsin Lahudin Hunafa. What did yours say? Read again. Okay, go read the next word behind Salah. Mine looks like it say you too.
That's the establishment. That's the one that says, if y'all established, it's a lot. That's a yeah, call, yeah, me.
Okay, read Salah, then the next word behind Salah. Yeah.
This is really saying give.
Give, yeah.
It comes from the word to give.
Yeah.
Take.
Yeah.
Bring, give, or something. But this is saying this is a full form. To practice. You're supposed to really.
And give zakat, like the man was just saying. Establish prayer, then give zakat.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the Deenu Hayati. That is the religion. Right and what? Right and straight. That's the religion. They have been commanded no more than this. But at least they said that. It is hard sometimes. Most of us were here. But when we came in here, that was a rock. We did. We built that podium up there because we were praying to the east, playing in something. We weren't trying to go. We were trying. No, let me take that back. I'm wrong. We were trying to do it right. We weren't intentionally trying to do nothing wrong. Not really. But the podium was up there. You can't tell it now. It was built. Yeah. You remember Russell? Yeah, it was built. And then I remember the conversation was we turned the wrong way. Oh Lord. Here y'all go holier than thou. It was like he was 100%. And that was not easy. But it wasn't hard, but it was like, well, what do you think? What do you think? It was
We ain't want to turn to the beat.
and most people wouldn't believe it. Saeed no, Ali no, Jamil no. I said, who else was here then? Anybody else in here? Was it crowded in here in Jamaica?
Rasul was in
Rasul, you remember how crowded it used to be? People wouldn't believe it. I was telling them, I said, that's why we ended up putting the windows right there. Because that was the, what you call it? It was overflow, and we had sisters over there, and wanted them to see, because there wasn't no curtain there. Wanted them to see, this room would be packed. Across the hall would be what? Packed. Across that hall, upstairs would be what? And downstairs would be packed.
Wow.
And I'm saying that to say, what the Imam said is like, Imam Muhammad, he knew we were gonna leave, but he still said, "No, this." He said, "God is not God," and like I think he said, "Do they still put that in? They still put that." Because I see the paper with the brothers all the time. They still put that in the paper. Allah came in the person, and it's very difficult. Honestly, it's difficult to. I hate to say it, because I love my brother. But it's difficult if you find out something that you doing is wrong, and especially if you're making some bad. That's a test. And I won't call his name because most of y'all know him. We were selling Muhammad Speaks, and at that time, me, Saeed, Yusuf Raouf, Hanim Muslim Rashida, we were selling papers like they were hot in our hand. And this brother, big time preacher, he was in the most gorgeous Cadillac I had seen up to that time. I've seen him prettier now. He said, "What you out here with these folks for?" Yeah, and I told him, and we were studying Bible too now. And I still carry Bible verses. I kept them with me, not sometimes, all the time. So if you were a preacher's side, I could just, I still carry them. To this day, that's 50 years. He said, "I tell you what," this is what he told me, a lot of my witness. Yep. He said, "I need an assistant." Yep. I said, "You need an assistant?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "If you come, I'll make you my assistant minister at my church." This big time preacher. I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah." He said, you like cars, don't you?" I said, "Yeah." I beat up 64 minutes. Big as this room. It was big. He said, "You'll be driving your Cadillac." And he asked me, he said, "You like women, don't you?" So I thought he was, but he wasn't. But I thought he was maybe a little, like that. And my voice got thick. I said, "Yes, sir. So do." I wanted to let him know I wasn't playing. He said, "You get all the women you want." He said, "What you don't understand no religion?" He said, "If I can get you complete from this to this," he said, "we're going to bring in some folks." That's a true story. And my mind for like a second, I said, "Man, I can use that money." And then my mind said, "Man, you're going straight to hell. You're going to knock hell's bottom out." I said, "No, sir. Thank you very much." I said, "I'll just keep struggling." And I said that to say, it's difficult for some of them preachers because they are making a lot of money. Some of them, my other friend, I won't call his name because y'all know him too. They gave him $50,000. What they call pastor appreciation. And he said, "Mama, what would you do all of?" put some kids in college or something. You know what he said he gonna do first thing? He going to buy him a, what's that big old watch? A Rolex. That's way back there. He said they started at $10,000. And they had given. And I said to myself, that must be difficult. Because we weren't making a plug nickel. I think maybe even they knew he might have been getting it too, but the rest of them weren't getting nothing. What was like, well, nobody getting no money. Huh?
I was never broke.
So,
I was never broke.
me either.
One on no income, but like we stayed in the finest hotel, we traveled, we ate good food, we
All the time, didn't we?
a lot of
We went, ask Raouf, and I'm on the thing and I'm gonna stop, but I'm gonna share this with the outside people. We left here going to Atlanta, Georgia for the spiritual jubilee. Car was full of what? Papers. Because we had a station wagon. It was packed. I mean, up to the top. We sold papers from here all the way down there. The man come out of the place. He run the inside. He run off. Saeed comes out. I don't know if you remember. The man come out. I told y'all. We got that side. We had a pocket full of money though. By the grace of Allah. People were buying. They bought. We sold out. I mean, our car was packed. And Raouf didn't have a spare. That's how ain't that something? We got nothing. I ain't got no spare. We drove all the way down there with no spare. If they had a flat, we'd have just been out there. Allah took care of us. I'm saying that, brothers, to say how Imam Wali was just saying, we were kind of, I hate to say it, spooky. In a way, what we did here, we were spooked up.
That's why we was easy mark. We didn't know.
Wali said, because you didn't know.
Like, I agree with Wally. Some of the things we were taught, man, you believed it.
You believed it with all your heart.
All your heart and soul.
Yeah.
mothership.
Huh?
That
Moms are not deep.
after I'm supposed to be looking up in the airport.
Yeah. Looking for it.
Looking for the
Not
fucking
only looking at the
It's waving down, you saw it.
That's it right
He said, not only look at he saw it.
It's waving down, you saw it.
It's just amazing how your mind, if you're not careful, you can make your mind. You can make your mind. You can make your mind believe it. I'm gonna stop, brother, because I'm not. Probably went off. Yes, sir.
That's why I tell people.
That's why I relate to people that I understood the mentality of the Jim Jones followers.
Yes, sir.
I understood that.
Yeah.
That wasn't no big leap for me. Because we was waiting on Elijah Muhammad to tell us that it was time for us to go out and kill the devil. So when he told them that it was time for them to drink and poison and go to Christ, I understood why they did it willingly, the ones that did it. It wasn't no big leap because we sitting on go, want to go to war with no munition, but we ready to go to war with our life. Soon as Elijah Muhammad said it was time to go to war against the devil.
It's people that think like that now. I mean, not among us, but it's the brother. He said to me, not last week, week before. He said, "What's the brother name? Clarence, 17, that who started them. What is it called? It ain't y'all's fault. It's mine. Here, 5%. 5%. Yeah. And he said, we are God. He said, we're not, this was just a week ago, 2 weeks ago. He said, we're not the God, but we are a God. And that's the way we believe, you know what I mean? If somebody tell you something and you believe it, Lord. Say, I mean, I'm not saying, but man, I want you to say something. I'm gonna stop.
I would say this,
Mhm.
and I think that's what Saeed was speaking to. People believe it sincerely. See, I don't think that there's any insincerity in the church. They believe it in their heart.
Yeah.
Imam said they believe it in their heart that they're giving their worship to the Creator. In their heart, they believe it. In mouth, they saying something else.
Yeah.
Their mouth not really articulating what's in their heart. They believe in their heart that that's the Creator. I think our brothers and sisters and others, and they believe. I don't believe anybody can be any more sincere than a brother in the nation. You think they ain't sincere? They're sincere. They
Very.
believe it sincerely. Not artificially, not thinking like, I'm just going to be in opposition.
Yeah.
No, they believe it. No, they believe it sincerely. And I think that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless them, the ones who got sincerity in their heart, as He will bless the believer. Because the understanding is not, they don't have they have a wrong understanding in them, and maybe cognitively, but not in their heart.
Not in
It's
that.
Allah see your heart.
Yeah. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that merciful too? Allah is that merciful. Yes, sir.
And brother Imam, if I could camel back on
What surah are you in?
the same surah you were,
Same one? Okay, okay.
where Surah or Ayat 6 says, those who reject truth among the people of the book and among the polytheists will be in hellfire. But Allah, most gracious, most merciful, opens up the door for them when He says, offering sincere devotion,
Yes, sir.
being true in faith. And my dad told me before he passed away, may Allah be pleased, that son, and he was Christian, he said, son, you were saved by your own belief, if you're sincere. And here the Quran says, being true in faith, sincere devotion, to establish regular prayer and to practice regular charity. So the door is open for the people of the book.
Brother Omar.
In my opinion.
Yes, sir. And brothers in here, let me share this and something to say, and I should share this. Because this is what the brother asked me. Because we talked about this. There is a taste of hell on this side, according to the Quran. It's some hell, and I think my understanding is Allah's addressing that too. That if you will be in hellfire, but not in the to come, but it'll be right here. Because I was telling the brothers, I said, listen, don't you know it's hell that you can't trust the person you're next to?
Y'all in the same.
And yeah, you're in the same hell. You're in hell, here's a person right next to you. There's a movie I was watching. And I don't know if you all seen, you may have seen it too. It's called Power. You ever seen that? I can't think of the brother that's the star in it. But he's big time drug dealer. I mean, big time. I mean, huh?
Training those.
That's him. Ghost.
Stuff.
That's him. But they don't have nobody loyal to no. Ain't no brotherhood. And this is what I was telling the brothers. I said, whether you realize it or not, that's hell. It's hell if you can't trust people. To me, it is. One of the things that Muhammad Amin loves so much is that we can at least trust each other. And you can't go, how many days can we go? 2 or 3 without speaking. Right?
3 days.
You can go 3 days. I was talking to a brother, he said he liked me. Before he got mad at me, he didn't speak to me for a year. And I told him, I said, man, that's something messed up with that. I said, can't we just at least talk about it? You blue. And my mind said, that's why Islam is so important. Because first of all, we, and I hope I'm not messed up, but he was talking about doing something to me, excuse the expression. I said, I'm not gonna let you hurt me. I said, I like you, but I ain't gonna let you hurt me. And then my mind said, that's how people end up hurting each other.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm making sense or not. But we're brothers, but we're not brothers in that sense. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I just want to say one thing before you go. On this word, listening, that's an active noun. What I mean by an active noun in the 10 verse, well, what I mean by it is simply this. This is what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be living this. You're supposed to be acting this. You're supposed to be living this. You're supposed to be doing this. That's why he says, offering him sincere devotion. He's telling us when he put it in the English, offering him sincere devotion. You got to do something. When you say, I'm offering you something, I'm physically, you got to do something.
Yeah.
You got to show something.
Yeah. Makes sense, don't it?
Yeah.
Because how you know if a person is really genuine if they don't show it to you?
That's exactly how you.
There's no way for you to know it.
That's what I was one of. You don't have to advertise you're a Muslim. The book you're seeing should be seen.
Yeah.
People gonna, if you live a certain way, people gonna know it. And that's why these people just think. They're people, they're sincere in their heart.
Exactly.
I had a lady tell me, she said, boy, you're a good Christian. I said, yes, ma'am. I didn't say that. I didn't go with it. Alhamdulillah, stop going. No, I didn't do that. I didn't do it like that. I just said, yes, ma'am. I can tell you're a good Christian. I said, yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. And then in my mind, I'm saying, I guess in a way, maybe I am. If you know what the word means, Christ-like. I try to be, Christ-like. Ain't that what Christian means? See, that's why I understand it, right? Yeah. So it means, if I say to be Christ-like is to be clean, would that be right? Y'all look at me like, no. Okay, I'm gonna close this up. I'm a little off. I'm off. But I said to the lady, I just answered. I said yes. I don't mean I'm following Jesus.
Let me say something on that.
Yes, sir.
In scripture, as I said, I used to be a young clergy. And, when they say, Jesus said, I'm in my Father in me. Me and my Father become one. Not one in flesh, but one in spirit. What you mean in spirit and in
I want to say, it came up. This man, I did 127 and 129. One who brothers, one neighbor that the neighbor leaves. And he said, I'm here out Hamsi. I heard the band say if two men carry on for over 3 days, then one or both of them die will be destroyed in the next world. If someone is so unjust until he is forced to leave, the home will be destroyed. But when you had said what you had said about the brother carrying into his heart, that how they hit me. And then later on, I got to speaking again. It's another hadith came out. It's right by his shoulder. It's hadith 129. Abu Hurairah said, the Prophet Allah made upon him the most noblest person. He replied, the noblest among you, the most God conscious. They responded, but that is what we asked about. The Prophet said, then the noblest of all people was Yusuf, the Prophet of Allah, the son of the Prophet, and the grandson of the friend of Allah. They responded, but that is not what we asked about. The Prophet said, are you asking about the Arab tribes? Then yes, they replied. The Prophet of Allah said, the best of you in the days before Islam are the best of you in Islam. So long as you have understood it, what Islam is all about. So I say that as long as we understand what Islam is about, ain't gonna be construed. Ain't gonna we gonna misunderstand it. It's forever gonna be a chain that's unbreakable. You know.
Yes, sir. I'm on call. Can we say our Fatiha how together, brothers? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Amen. Thank you all.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Really?